the Glenwood, Michigan and Beards project, that was part of a complete overhaul of both the street surface, which is the sidewalks, the curb, the street itself, but we also did water and sewer and storm replacement in there. That's some of the oldest infrastructure in the entire city. In fact, that water main is almost 100 years old. And so that was part of the capital improvement plan for like the last 5 years. We do a 5-year capital improvement plan. That was on there. And so it's actually several weeks ahead of schedule. And so they're started laying asphalt already and putting the curb and gutter in, and that's a couple weeks ahead of schedule. So we're pretty excited about that getting done on time, and it's under budget as well. And that was part of an MDOT grant as well for the Glenwood project. We received several $100,000 in MDOT funding for that. As for the East Quay parking lot, that is also on time, under budget, and we anticipate that being wrapped up the first week in July. They've finished laying the base, and they'll start laying asphalt on the curb in the next 2 weeks. And so then they'll do grass and trees, and there'll be a lot more enhancements for aesthetics. So it kind of looks like a concrete jungle with the old parking lot. The new parking lot will have a lot more greenery, a lot more trees to provide natural shade, and it'll be a much more welcoming place. Also, the lighting will be done, and it'll be a much more safer place to park and walk. And most importantly, it'll be ADA accessible. We're trying to make our downtown more inclusive for people with disabilities, and so that parking lot will be fully ADA compliant with ramps and handicap accessibility. And so that'll be important so our restaurants and our businesses down there can be more inclusive as well. Yeah, so the Glenwood and Michigan and Beards project, a part of that project is installing new water main. And when they install the new water main on that project, then we'll be able to abandon the utilities on that section of Fort Street between Glenwood and Beers. And once we abandon those utilities and vacate that road, we will initiate the closing process on the sale of the YMCA site. So the first phase of the purchase agreement will be executed sometime in July, and that will allow them to begin the construction of their development, which is pretty exciting for downtown. No city dollars or taxpayer dollars were used to fund my trip up there. That was done with my own personal dollars. So I don't want someone to think we went to Mackinac on city dime. That didn't happen. But it was important to go up there. We went up there with a key group of people, of business leaders, of civic leaders, and we went up there and we met with dozens and dozens of developers, of CEOs, of Tier 1 automotive suppliers to promote Port Huron. We wanted to promote our downtown. We wanted to promote our industrial park. And we wanted to promote essentially the $247 million of investment that's going on in this community, because we recognize that investment drives further investment. And if you look at some of the key investments going on in the city of Port Huron, they're from a lot of outside developers. We have John Wheeler at the Hilton Doubletree. You have Chuck Reed doing Sperry's and City Flats. You have Al Stevens, who's a homegrown guy but moved away and is coming back. And so we want to tell the state there's opportunity here to invest dollars and, most importantly, create jobs and prosperity for our citizens. And so it was an economic development tour. It was amazing the amount of people we met with, and really Senator Gary Peters and Congresswoman Candace Miller were very helpful in connecting us with some key people in the automotive industry who can help put some contracts in our industrial park, who could help bring that additional factory expansion here. And so it wasn't just local leaders. We teamed up with our national and state and federal leaders as well to advocate for Port Huron, to get our name out there. And so it was an exciting trip. I was proud to be a part of that team. It consisted of members of the Community Foundation, of the Economic Development Alliance, of Blue Meets Green, which is our business and civic leadership group in the county, also St. Clair County officials. And so it was exciting. I think it was very beneficial. So we've experienced rapid growth at Lakeside Park. Just to give you a point of reference, in the 2012 and 2013 summer, and that physical year summer, it was 2013 summer, we experienced a total of about 3,000 to 4,000 vehicles all season came to that parking lot. Last year, that number was north of 12,000 vehicles. And most of those vehicles are from out-of-county people, which is a good thing. We're drawing in tourism dollars and economic development dollars into the community from outside regions. So that's exciting. But with that rapid growth comes challenges. And so we've invested a significant amount of money in police protection. We've added additional police patrol and cadets. We've created a satellite police station at Lakeside Park. And that's the policing component of it. And so in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of stepped up police officers and police coverage, because I believe that police presence is a deterrent to crime. And our chief of police and his command staff are doing an excellent job out there. But then there's a second component, which is the operational aspect of the park. How do you handle the additional trash load? The trash cans fill up multiple times a day. The additional bathroom needs. We built that brand new bathroom that included 2 more bathrooms it's still not sufficient. So we've put additional porta-johns out there as well. And so we've hired additional park staff and recreationers to go out there and change the trash throughout the day, to help monitor the park, to clean the bathrooms. We've added additional restroom facilities. We've also sent our team out there when the park closes in the evening. There's a whole team of people go out there and clean the park until it gets dark. And then at 4 in the morning, they show up again to finish cleaning the park. And so with those rapid growth comes the need for additional resources. And we've been addressing that in the last 2 weeks. I think when people, moving forward, people will be more comforted with the level of police protection, but also the level of services from our park and recreation staff. And I will tell you, the Parks and Recreation staff does an incredible job. That is a lot of work. They're out there changing hundreds and hundreds of trash bags in the hot sun, and they do a great job. And so I have to applaud not only our police officers and our cadet. That's a tough job to be a cadet and a police officer in the summertime. But also our Parks and Recreation staff for the incredible work they do. So for the residents around there, we recognize the challenge of having that additional people there, and we're going to throw those additional resources at it. And so it's a constant. We're a beach town, and word's getting out that Port Huron's a beautiful place. We have a brand new splash pad. Our beach is pristine, the blue water, and I think you're seeing the message get down to the Metro Detroit region that, hey, Port Huron's only 40 minutes away and has incredible assets, and it's an amazing place to visit, and that's a good thing. And as a growing community, these are growing pains, and so we'll address them, and we'll address them with the resources. We have very capable staff. Nancy Windsor, our Parks and Recreation Director, and Chief Reeves do an incredible job, and I have full confidence in their post-action plan to address this.